All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. A lot of questions about the market these days, not surprisingly. Oh, there's me and my Benzinga guy. You know, look at this picture. It's me like, I don't know, 10 years, 50 pounds ago. I tell my wife, I'm like, yeah, if you ever divorce me and I go on Match, that's going to be my picture. Because my brother was married for like, I don't know, 20, 25 years, and he went on Match. And fortunately, he found a new wife. But he's like, yeah, he's like, these people send pictures of themselves like from 30 years ago. So I have another story about that. One of my good friends met some girl on Match, and he sent me her picture, and he's like, "Dude, check this out. This girl is attractive. All right, I'm gonna just put it out there." He's like, "This girl is hot." If you're politically correct, turn me off. I don't want to talk to you if you're politically correct. All right, political correctness has basically brought the world to war. All right, he said she was hot. Period. That's it. Women can be hot. So anyway, when he met her for the date, it turns out that this picture was like 20 years old and she wasn't hot. So he was like, I'm going to go smoke a cigarette. And she's like, you don't smoke, do you? And he's like, no. And she's like, you're not coming back, are you? And he's just like, no. I got another story about the same guy. He was actually dating a woman who was very attractive. And he'd been out like 5 or 10 dates. And all of a sudden, he noticed there was someone across the street taking pictures of them. So he says to this woman, hey, this guy's taking pictures of us. And you know what she said? She was like, oh, that's my ex husband. He's been following us on every date. So anyway, whatever. I've been married for 20 friggin' some odd years. Yeah, the grass is always greener. All right, enough of that. I do, not only do I give stock market advice, I give dating advice, blah, blah, blah. All right, so let's look at the market. All right. There's a lot of money in dating advice, man. Freaking around here, divorce attorneys get like $1,000 an hour. And from what I understand, they all collude with each other. They're all like, oh, I'll cut you this deal in this case if, I'll cut you that deal with that case. All right. So anyway, let me just kind of go back here and let's look at the S&P 500, which is always kind of where we start. This is the most important benchmark. Wow, look at that. That's some negative ass action right there. It's kind of ironic. I don't know if ironic is the right word, but when you look at the news and they talk about the market, they always mention the Dow Jones, right? In the institutional trading world, the Dow Jones is pretty much irrelevant. And in the institutional trading world, you need a benchmark, you need something to be compared to. All right. Like if you're a small cap manager, you're going to be compared to the Russell 2000. If you're a commodities manager, you're going to be compared to some kind of commodities index. No one in the institutional world is compared to the Dow Jones, and there's a reason for it. The Dow Jones is what we call a price weighted index. In other words, the higher the prices, the more influence it has on the index. So you could have a company that's worth $1 million that trades at $1,000 a share, or you could have a company that's worth $1 trillion that trades at $5 a share, but that smaller company that trades for $1,000 a share is going to have more influence. So anyway, that's why we don't really kind of talk about the Dow. But this is some pretty serious negative action, and this is what we talked about this morning. Look at this. We got right up to where this resistance level was. All right. Resistance becomes support within points. I mean, God, why don't you people get this? Well, I know you get it because I get all these great emails. It's like, I made money on this, I made money on that. Listen, if you make money, great. All right. The second, you ever heard the expression pride comes before the fall? Once you think you got it figured out, you're done. Okay. Every day is a new day. And I know a lot of you made money today because we talked about buying these inverse ETFs at the top and the market went down and blah, blah, blah. And you want to lose money, think you're great. You want to make money? All right. You know what? Go look at the stars and realize you're this kind of insignificant. All right. That's getting a little carried away. You're not insignificant, but you know what I'm saying. Every day is a new day. So this action today in the S&P really sucks. And this is like the first time I've actually seen this because I've been kind of busy. We got all the way up to this level that was this former resistance level and this former support level. And we always talk about how certain price levels are more important than others. Okay, what is the opening price here on this day? May 23rd. Opening price 531.25. High trade today 531.59. We're talking about a $500 security and we're talking about pennies. But anyway, we opened, we rallied, the sellers came in. This is some very negative action. I would not be surprised to see the market go down more tomorrow. Just want to look at the 1-day chart here. Yeah, I mean, today's action was very negative. And people ask me, they're like, is this because of Kamala Harris or is this because of the war or recession? I don't know. I really don't. I do know that as an American, if Kamala Harris becomes president, I will be even more ashamed than I was with Joe Biden, although she can't be worse. I mean, the guy is really the worst president we've ever had. And his legacy is going to go on for decades because if Kamala Harris becomes the president, it's his legacy. If there are terrorist attacks, from people that came in over the borders, it's his legacy. So anyway, it's not a Republican or Democratic thing. I personally am independent, but I am someone who likes our country, and I do. I mean, look behind me. Look at all these. Every book here is an American history book. Can you guys even see me? Yeah. See all these pictures back, all these books back here? These are all American history books. I read a lot about American history. And, up until now, people thought like, oh, James Buchanan was the worst president because he couldn't stop the Civil War. No one could stop the Civil War. Ulysses Grant was crooked, because of the Indian Bureau stuff. Warren Harding was crooked because of the Teapot Dome scandal. You know what? Grant didn't know about the Indian Bureau stuff. Warren Harding didn't know about the Teapot Dome scandal. The stuff here goes right to the top of the line, the White House. And one of the reasons why the Democrats forced Biden out is because they know when Hunter Biden's trial comes in another couple of weeks, all the evidence and all the smoking gun stuff is going to come out about how this disgraceful, narrow minded person got all these payoffs. I mean, come on. The guy has mansions literally all over the world, the Virgin Islands, Colorado. How did he make all this money? I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. It's not Democrat or Republican. It's like if you're an American, you should be offended and you should be worried. All right. Let me shut up and go into the markets here. So, very negative action today. Not surprising. We got a little bit of a rebound in the S&P, but we're going lower. I think tomorrow we get some more downside. If you're on the short side, stay short. Wow, look at this action in tech. Jeez. And a big part of this is Apple, as we've been talking about. Right? Apple got to this important price level. Yeah. So if you want to watch one thing, sometimes the market is complicated, sometimes the market is easy. This is an easy market. If you want to get insight into which way the market is going to go, excuse me. Man, I had some popcorn before. I think it's getting caught in my throat. Right here, Apple. This is like what I've been saying. We stalled out at this level that was important support. As Apple goes, I think the broader market goes. I think the broader market goes down. But you're going to see it right here. All right, real quick here before I get going. Man, sorry. It's freaking, yeah. Well, it's not the 15 bong hits I did. It's the popcorn. Just kidding. I wish I did some bong hits. I haven't done a bong hit in years. Anyone want to come by and bring me a bong with some hits in it? Yeah, I'll let you know my address. All right. Anyway, Microsoft. Yeah, real negative. I mean, look at this. Microsoft got right up to this level that was support. Support becomes resistance. NVIDIA, let's look at. Real negative action there. Let's look at the financials. It's like we talked about this morning. And we're going to do our, we do our call. Wow, look at this. All right. It's like, gee, Mark, how about our price levels? Where was the opening price here? Where was the high price here? 42.32. What was the high price today? 42.36. We are talking about a freaking 6 cent difference in a security that's $42 a share. If this doesn't convince you that you should know what important, which price levels are important, then this is not for you. Go do something else. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, go do something else. I mean, if I could relive my life, would I have gone to Wall Street and become a trader? I don't know. I don't think I would. I mean, I know this sounds kind of stupid, but I would have gone to Africa and helped save the lions or help save the elephants, you know? I mean, that's what I would. And I'm only 50. How old am I? 54. Oh, my birthday's coming up August 29th. I'm going to be 55. So I'm still a young guy. But yeah, I just want to do something like, I love animals, love those elephants. There are creatures of God. We're all creatures of God, you know. And in God's eyes, I don't think any one creature is more important than the other. But anyway, all right. So yeah, so we do dating advice here at Stock Market Jobber. We do religion. We do philosophy. What else do you want to know? How about flossing your teeth? That's another good thing. But anyway, I mean, think about it. This sector is worth trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, and we come within pennies of the same levels. All right. Anyway, oh, you hear that? There's my guinea pigs, which are all rescue pigs, by the way. I love my guinea pigs. I have a wife and two daughters, so I need all the male companionship I get. So, so I got a male dog and I got 3 male guinea pigs. Boy, look at this. Now, the healthcare sector has pretty much been the only sector that's been holding up, and major reversal today took out a major level. I just think the market goes lower. I mean, I don't see anything that makes me think the market is going to go higher. We talked about it this morning. And markets go up, markets go down. People get spoiled when the market's going up. They think it's going to last forever. But every market in the history of mankind that's gone up has gone down. All right, everyone. Man, we're at 12 minutes now. They keep telling me like, oh, you got to keep it like 7 or 8 minutes. Well, I'm sorry. I like to ramble. All right, now we've been talking about the oil trade, and I know a bunch of you have gotten long oil, and it's not necessarily being long oil in the futures market. Retail investors can get exposure to oil from an ETF, USO. So oil was up today. Well, actually, let's look at USO. One of the main things we talk about here is how retail investors can get exposure to commodities. A lot of retail investors don't even realize they can, but there's a whole slew of ETFs that track commodities markets. So yeah, look at that. Oil up 3.09% today. So a lot of you made some serious coin right here. Remember, pride comes before the fall. Once you think you got the market figured out, you might as well just throw the friggin' towel in, because that's when you're going to lose money. All right. I've been doing this a long time and I've seen it a million times. If there's ever been a profession where the word pride comes before the fall is true, it's investing. So that's why I tell a lot of my students and followers, if you have a really couple good days and you make a lot of money, it might make sense to take a day off or two. Just like if you're losing a lot of money, it makes sense to take a day off. Being a successful trader is about understanding your emotions. Okay. And if you get too negative or you get too positive, you can put your head between your legs and kiss your what behind. Ooh, double entendre there. All right. Anyway, thanks, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. We are going to be here. My partner, Berlin, he's on vacation. But he might check in. But regardless, we'll talk about the markets, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Thanks, everyone.